Our runners are down at start at Carlisle, ahead of their penultimate race, the 3:25. Handicap chase over 2 miles. Lucinda Russell's already had a winner on the card. Saddles LeFranc, who's joint favourite here at 9-2 with Sporting Press to go 15-2 Never Up, and the same price Zolfo. 8-1 Vocalizer, 11-1 Honourable Gent, 12-1 for Felix Mendelssohn, 14's Road Warrior, 16's Inca Gold and Instinctive, and My Renaissance 18-1. The price for King's Wharf. So the prices at Carlisle ahead of the 3:25. And the runners just circling down at the start. And the market leader here. One of the market leaders is LeFranc for Lucinda Russell, son of King's Theatre, who produced a big run back from a break when third to Lucky Robin at Perth 3 weeks ago. Marginally higher in the weights here, but generally consistent sort, and just needs to run to his normal level, one would think, to prove it hard to beat. He's up against Sporting Press, who was winner of back-to-back races at Kelso and Musselburgh back in the spring, on a lot better ground than he'd been racing off here. Whilst Zolfo, winner on good ground at Bangor in August, is another who must have some concerns get on the ground, given his current mark of 109, whilst Never Up for the Sue Smith stable. Judging by the performances of the runners here today, probably will need this run. It's the first since May, whilst Vocalizer completely lost his way last season in what was a quiet season for the yard. No doubting as well handicapped at the moment. There is a move for him in the ring. It's 8-1 from 12s. And he would prove very dangerous, but on last season's form, he has to be considered a risk. Now, the flags are raised.
Is now in play.
They're walking forward for the 3:25. Just coming in a bit too quickly, are they? No, he's let them go. Off and racing, and King's Wharf has sent straight to the front. Leads from Never Up in the early stages with Vocalizer and Instinctive all well there as they clear the first, which developed jump safely. My Renaissance and Inca Gold towards the rear of the field, and there's now a change up front as Instinctive is sent on by Ross Chapman. Instinctive over the second by 2 from Never Up and Vocalizer. They're chased by Honourable Gents, and King's Wharf, having led them into the first, is now settled in the middle of the pack along with Zolfo as they jump the next. Instinctive up and over from Vocalizer, Never Up, Honourable Gent with a low head carriage. King's Wharf next, followed by Zolfo and Sporting Press. Up against the inside rail is Felix Mendelssohn, and they're chased by Road Warrior. Road Warrior in turn chased by Inca Gold on the outside of LeFranc, who only has My Renaissance behind as they go into the bend. At the top of the home straight and swing, right-handed away from the enclosures and the racecourse stables, and out towards the far side of the track with Instinctive leading Never Up by a length and a half. Honourable Gent a close third, and racing to the inside of Vocalizer. King's Wharf next, and tracked out wide by Zolfo. Up against the inside rail then Felix Mendelssohn as they head towards the 2 fences as they come out of the dip. Instinctive sticking to the inside rail, leading from Never Up, Honourable Gent, Vocalizer, Sporting Press and King's Wharf. Felix Mendelssohn and Zolfo are next, and a break of a couple of lengths to Inca Gold, who's on the inside of Road Warrior, with LeFranc and My Renaissance the back mark, as that's the order as they take the first on the far side, and the next one comes in quick succession with Never Up now sharing the lead with Instinctive. Honourable Gent continues to race handily in third on the inside of Sporting Press and Vocalizer as they reach a point 7 furlongs from home. Instinctive and Never Up and over from Vocalizer, Sporting Press and Honourable Gent, who make a line of 3 ahead of King's Wharf, Zolfo and Felix Mendelssohn. LeFranc now beginning to make a move as they head towards the next, where Instinctive and Never Up took off on Landed together. A mistake at the rear of the field by Road Warrior, and now heading towards the next of the open ditches, fence number 8, where Never Up led. A mistake there from Sporting Press, and he took Vocalizer and King's Wharf out wide. Now begin the downhill run with just a Sporting Press who's driven. Lefranc continues to pick off at rivals as they approach 3 from home. Never Up, Honourable Gent, King's Wharf, Vocalizer all well there with Lefranc. Oh, Lefranc's just made a mistake at the third last. And with 2 left to jump, Never Up, Honourable Gent, Vocalizer, King's Wharf and Lefranc are all well there at the second from home. Never Up with a narrow lead. Pressed though by King's Wharf. Honourable Gent's down at the second last. 1 to jump. King's Wharf goes on with Lefranc. Now going after them into second. They have 2 lengths clear of Sporting Press and Never Up at the last. Lefranc lands level with King's Wharf. Sporting Press back in third into the final furlong. And now Lefranc has struck the front. Lefranc has picked off rivals in the final mile and is now storming clear in the closing stages. Lefranc will give Lucinda Russell another win on the card, another winner 2 for Blair Campbell. They're 4 lengths clear of King's Wharf in second. It's the Sporting Press back in third, and they pulled well clear of Never Up.